All set? Yesterday, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office recovered the skeletal remains of a female in the wooded area on private property off Briar Hill Road, south of Newburgh Road in Ash Township. Michigan State Police evidence technicians were called in to assist in processing the scene. The victim's body was then sent to the Wayne County morgue along with the dental records of Chelsea Bruck, our missing person case that occurred on October 26, 2014, almost 6 months ago to the day. Today at approximately 4 o'clock p.m., we received confirmation from the Wayne County Medical Examiner's Office that the body was in fact that of Chelsea Bruck. Since that time, the Bruck family has been notified. The Wayne County Medical Examiner's Office has not completed their autopsy. Therefore, I can't give you the official cause of death at this time. In fact, they stated that a thorough investigation could take up to a month to complete. Over the past few months, detectives have gathered evidence from several locations, both in and out of the county of Monroe. Evidence was also recovered at the scene yesterday. This is our case up to today. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office will continue to use all of the resources available to us, including the Michigan State Police and the FBI, who have been assisting in the investigation since day one to apprehend those responsible for this senseless murder. Our thoughts and prayers are with the Bruck family. I would also like to thank the community for their overwhelming support to the Bruck family throughout the investigation. Questions?
Sheriff, what makes you think it's a murder?
Evidence at the scene indicates that it was a homicide.
How were you able to identify the body?
We sent it to the morgue and dental records were confirmed.
Was the family ever asked to come down to identify skeletal remains?
No, they would not be in this case.
Can you speak a little bit about that evidence, and do you have any suspects, persons of interest at this time?
We can't comment on it at this time.
How about that sketch that was released a while back? Is that a person you're still...
We cannot comment at this time on that either.
Can you tell us that industrial site where you recovered some clothing, is that related to this case?
That is related to this case. When we sent the clothing to the crime lab, we knew that it would take 4 to 6 weeks at a minimum before we would get any results back. But yes, that is evidence from this case.
Do you believe that's where the crime occurred?
Where the clothes were recovered?
Yeah.
No.
What are your thoughts on that?
We believe at this time that in all likelihood, the crime was committed at or near where the body was located.
Could you tell us, was the body in a shallow grave, or how far?
I'm not going to comment at this time.
Do you know how long that body had been there?
All indications that it's been there probably since the day of the incident.
So the day she disappeared?
Yes.
So the clothes may have been dumped in Flat Rock afterwards?
I'm not commenting on that.
Did you say you would not comment if you have any suspects, or that you don't have any suspects?
I'm not commenting on that at this time.
Do you know how soon the body was essentially dumped at that construction site?
No.
I talked to a neighbor. He essentially said he had Monroe County Sheriff's Office come out there and saw someone trespassing that property towards the end of October. Do you know if that's related to this?
I do know that the owner of the property has given permission to a friend of his to bow hunt that property. So he did bow hunt that property for several months. That person is not a person of interest in this case.
Have you looked for Chelsea in that area before?
No.
Do you have a person of interest in this case?
We're not going to comment on that at this time.
Is that site, is that a crime scene? Is the homeowner going to be continuing with whatever he was doing?
According to his wife, probably not. But we're not going to speak for him. They were devastated by what they found out there.
So it's not by your direction that he cannot build there. It's his own accord.
Absolutely.
Any word on how the family's holding up at this
Detective Sergeant Jeff Pauley, Monroe Sheriff's Office. We've notified the family today. They are taking it as expected. They do request that everyone give them some privacy during this difficult time.
There were massive searches. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of volunteers. I mean, they have 1 million plus flyers put out there. Are they speaking at all, or their thoughts on just sort of that community outreach and, of course, Monroe County and state police and the agency's efforts at finding her?
They're very appreciative of the effort of the Sheriff's Office, the state police, the FBI, the citizens, the volunteers. Yes, they're very appreciative of that, of the effort.
What time did you guys notify the family?
Approximately 3:45 today.
Where do you go from here now that there has been a body found?
We're continuing to follow the tips and leads, and where the investigation takes us, that's where we'll follow.
Anything that you're asking of the public or anything that you're still wanting to know from them?
If they have information, we ask that they contact the Monroe County Sheriff's Detective Bureau, 734-240-7530.
Anything specific at all?
If they have information related to the disappearance and now the murder of Chelsea Bruck.
You mentioned that you believe the crime was committed either near or close to where the body was located. Have you had any sense, based on the level of decomposition or how the body was when you found it? I mean, was she alive? Could she have been alive for a lot longer after this party on the 26th?
I'm not going to comment on that. I mean, it's hard for us to say several months later exactly when. We're still trying to analyze that and figure that out.
Was the body closed?
I'm not going to comment.
Are you able to speak about the level of decomposition or the challenge it makes for you and investigators when you have had a body out there for months?
It is challenging, and I believe that's principally why it's going to take the medical examiner's office several weeks to come up with an answer. Yes.
So it was dental records. The family didn't have to come and do any
No.
identifying? Okay.
No, they did not.
There was a body found in Brownstown just earlier today. Any relation?
No relation.
So the body was found in Flat Rock, but the clothing was in Ashe Township. That's what you said earlier, or what was the Ashe Township?
No, yesterday the body was found in Ashe Township. The clothes were found in Flat Rock.
Her clothes.
Her clothes.
Can you identify whether that clothing was the costume she was wearing the night she disappeared?
We believe it was the costume.
The entire costume?
Not the entire costume.
Were there things on the costume, such as like blood or anything, that you guys are going to use?
Obviously, that's being examined forensically with the Michigan State Police. And like I said, we're expecting a report back within the next few weeks. But yes, visually there was evidence on the clothing.
What was that evidence?
We're not going to comment on that.
When were you able to confirm that the clothing found in Flat Rock was linked to this case? Was her clothing or costume?
It was a unique costume. Brian has been working on this since day one. She handmade the costume, and so it was one of a kind.
Any weapons recovered at any point near her body or near the costume?
Not going to comment on that.
Were there any signs she put up a fight or any indication of what the suspect might have done?
We're not going to comment on that.
Have you ever been called out to that location in Ashe Township for any kind of weird occurrences, any kind of trespassing, anything at all?
No, we haven't. We've had incidents in the past out there, accidents, four-wheeler accidents. I can think of two offhand in the past few years that resulted in fatalities, but nothing of this nature.
When you look at the search, I mean, just in the past 2 months, Point Boulay, then Flat Rock, and now finally recovering the body in Ashe Township, can you speak about the search and sort of, and this is a very wide
Each time we've received information, how small it was, we went out and we searched those areas. The family, we've kept them in the loop all along. They've instructed their people on where to search as well. And that's what led us to those locations that we had searched prior.
How far was where her body was found from where the actual party took place, where she was last seen?
About 12 miles.
Had the owner of the property visited the property before April, before he started doing some work anytime over the winter?
Yes. They closed out last year putting a berm on the side of the road and put evergreen trees in. They've been back there this spring. It was a swampy area, and what they're doing is ditch dirt and things along that line. They would fill it up with a backhoe, come back, level it out, and they ran a sewage drain all the way out, and that's what they were doing, is trying to get it where they could get back there without it all being swamped.
And they had no indication previously that she was laying on their property?
No.
That area is not accessible, or has not been accessible by vehicle, correct?
Not by vehicle, without the owner unlocking the gate.
Are the owners in the clear, or are they?
The owners are not suspects.
It's gated, like all around his property is gated in?
No, coming in the backsides, it's all woods. You wouldn't be able to get a vehicle there.
How large is that private property?
13 acres.
13 acres.
You know, for those of us there last night, I mean, do you believe that whoever did this has to have relatively good idea of this area, the geography, some of the challenges in keeping such a wooded area kind of secluded like that?
I believe the person was familiar with the railroad tracks that are there, which has been a commonly parking area in the past. I believe that person is familiar with the area, and that's what led that person to that area.
Are you talking, or is your search in any way going to concentrate on folks in and around that area?
We're not going to comment on it this time.
Have you ruled out that it's only one person, or do you believe there's multiple people involved?
We're not going to talk about that.
Had she been sexually assaulted?
We're not going to talk about that.
Chief, can you give me your personal opinions? I know you said this crime was senseless. Can you expand upon that, your personal feelings about this case?
I'm going to reserve my comments until this case is resolved, and I will be more than happy at that time to share my comments.
This has been quite an intense case for Monroe County. You guys don't have things like this happen very often. How is the department holding up overall?
We're at an all-time low manpower right now. We have currently 57 deputies. We'll be hiring 4 more. That puts us at 61. 1983 when I hired in, I was badge number 76. At one point we had 87 people. We are like everybody else out there. Our troops have been cut. We're surviving. What's keeping us afloat is over the last 2 years, our call load has gone down from 32,000 to 30,000 complaints a year. We had to add people into our detective bureau when we took over. We're getting by, but a lot of those resources have been on overtime that the County of Monroe has taken care of us, knowing that a case like this, that's what we'd have to operate on. As you can see right here, hundreds of people have been interviewed, 550 pages of the report. We've got 200 pages of phone records. So it's been a long, complex case, but this is a puzzle that we started out with nothing, and we're at 3/4 of the puzzle. and we're not going to stop until we complete the puzzle.
From a morale standpoint, from just how you feel from, I mean, officers and deputies are people too. I can't imagine knowing what you know more than us. How has that been on your team?
These guys are professionals. I couldn't be more proud of them. They've put in a lot of time on this case, a lot of overtime. Like anything else it has is wear and tear on the families. Families have been understanding. They'll endure. They're going to get this job done, and they're doing a great job.
Do you mind, chronologically just going from yesterday, how we found the clothes, how many hours later you found the body? Do you mind just walking through that for us? Like how it started?
The clothes were found
April 5th.
April 5th. April 5th. Other evidence has been found between that time and today and before that time. That's evidence that we're not talking about for obvious reasons, and we'll continue.
Any estimate at all about how many man-hours have been spent on this so far? I assume it's a lot.
I know we had just over $50,000 in overtime before the end of last year. We haven't tallied up our total so far this year.
You know, speaking to people yesterday, you know, as you guys are doing your work, I mean, they're scared. This isn't anywhere there's a body. People are going to be frightened. Do you have anything to say to them as this investigation is ongoing? To the folks, you know, in that area, but you know, in surrounding areas who've been impacted by this case.
Crime happens in every community. We've been fortunate enough that we don't have a lot of violent death crimes in Monroe County. Last year, the city of Monroe had one homicide and an attempted second. Both of the suspects in those cases have been arrested. This case would be the only homicide that we investigated last year. So that'll tell you about the numbers in Monroe County. We're proud of that. Neighbors do not have anything to worry about. You're going to have isolated instances like this in every community throughout the state.
There's no reason to suspect you that this is part of it's not a serial killer or anything like that, this is isolated?
What we had, if you're just now getting brought up to speed on it, was a party of in excess of 600 people, Halloween costumes, a lot of alcohol and drugs used at that scene, a lot of people making poor choices that evening, and I'll leave it at that.
You said that you believe the suspect is familiar with those tracks. Do you believe the suspect is familiar with Chelsea? Is it someone she may have known?
Not going to comment on that.
Do you think that person was at the party?
I'm not going to comment on that.
When it comes to Chelsea's body, I know the family's grieving. Will they be able to get her body to have a proper funeral, or is that body's been kept for a long time to figure this out?
No, they'll get the body, but it's going to be a month or so before.
Yes, they will receive the remains, yes.
Do you know how long it's going to be?
It could take 4 weeks or more. 3 to 4 weeks.
Are you able to talk about what you're looking for? I mean, you guys are experts, we obviously are not, about what you're looking for on the body, especially when you're dealing with the body being out in the elements for you know, almost 6 months?
I mean, we're looking for all sorts of evidence, and what is at the scene we collect. There's no one thing that we're looking for. I mean, if we could have everything that was causing that murder, then that would be great. But that's some things are missing.
I know you can't talk specifics, but we did see you guys walking around the tracks with some bags. Were you able to recover evidence in this case?
We recovered some evidence, yes.
Going back to the party, the reason I ask about the serial killer, or not not a serial killer, but someone traveling from somewhere else that just was dressed up and took advantage of the situation? Or does it, I know you won't answer if she knew the person. Does this look like it's a stranger to the community who just took opportunity to do this, or?
I think you answered it, we're not gonna answer it.
Okay.
So,
The cause of death is still a question mark in terms of, how she died, manner of death.
Yeah, that will come from the medical examiner, yes.
Do you think that will be within the next 24 or 48 hours, or is it?
No, I do not.
Is that because of the level of decomposition?
They're going to take their time. They are going to do a thorough job. I have complete faith in that office, and when they're done, they're done.
But it's still a homicide nonetheless.
Yes.
Can you tell us at all what the anthropologist's involvement will be, how that will help?
I can't speak to what they'll do, but they are a part of that, yes.
So cause of death, you don't know, and it appears that she was killed, but there was blood found on the costume.
we didn't say that there was blood found on the costume, we said there could be evidence found on the costume.
What about blood found at the scene of the costume?
We're not commenting on that. Nothing else? When we hear something back from the Wayne County Medical Examiner's Office, we'll update everybody. And like Paul or Jeff said, anybody with tips from this point forward would be helpful as well. So thanks.